And we are live. What's up, my friends? Abby here. Welcome to our final Write With Me live stream session of the month of the June writing retreat. I'm so glad you guys are here. First things first, tell me if you can see me and hear me okay. Type in the chat, let me know. We are about to begin our final writing session together for the Write With Me writing retreat that we've been doing all month long. So if you haven't noticed on this channel, every Friday we have been showing up every single week to write together and commit to our creative projects. It's been so amazing seeing all the progress that you guys have made. I have been able to write to you every single day and hopefully send you some encouragement and inspiration to your inbox every morning through these emails, through the writing retreat. And I'm really glad that you guys have been here for this whole journey and that you're here for the finale session here today. It has been a busy day for me, but I'm finally able to sit down with you guys and get some writing done. So we're going to do 4 sprints as usual. 4 sprints, 25 minutes on, and 5-minute breaks in between to chat about our books. I will answer some questions, and then that will bring us to 2 hours. So shooting for a 2-hour writing session. If you can't stay for the whole thing, that's totally okay. You can hop on and off as you please. And I hope that you guys will stay for the whole thing because we're going to get a lot done in this session. It's going to be great. Okay, so everyone can see me. Awesome. Fantastic. So tell me where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear where you're from and what you're working on. What has been your project this month that you have been devoting your time to? I've had a few projects, spinning multiple plates as usual. You guys know me, but it's been good. I am working on a historical fiction novel that I've been drafting and kind of setting aside. I set aside for a couple of years, but now I've picked it back up again. I'm also working on my nonfiction book, which I'm very excited about. Very excited to share that one with you guys. And that's actually going to be working on today during this session because I haven't worked on it in a couple of days, but I really want to finish this draft hopefully by the end of the month. I know we're nearing the end of the month, so it's coming up really fast, but hoping to still meet my goal. So a super chat came in. Thank you so much from Chalon. Hopefully I'm saying your username right. Happy Friday, all. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, we have writers from all over the world tuning in. Awesome. So cool to see. I see Tampa, Puerto Rico, Chicago, New Zealand. So cool. Pakistan, Utah. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you guys are all here. I have been staggering these writing sessions, as you know, throughout different time zones so that hopefully everybody has a chance to join live. Our first one, I think, was a morning session. And I'm definitely more creative in the morning, but it's okay. We will still have a good, productive session here together today. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer to 25 minutes. You can follow my timer here on the screen, or you can set your own timer. I'm also going to set up Discord. So let's get a writing sprint going in Discord. If you're over on Discord, you can feel free to join there as well. And if you haven't joined Discord yet and you like this whole community aspect of chatting with other writers and encouraging each other and doing writing sprints, then you would really love the Discord because we do all of that every day in the Discord. So check that out. You can join the Discord by joining my Patreon at any level. And the link to that is below this video. So hope to see you over there. Okay, I don't even know what area of this book I'm going to work on, but I know I'm going to put in some work on it. So I'm just going to go with my total word count, which is currently 55,170 words. See how much I can add to this manuscript as we work on our books today. Oh, another super chat came in. Thank you so much from Hannah. Thank you so much for this retreat, Abby. I've been juggling a lot of projects as well, but I've been able to make progress on my 1884 Western novel. Thanks for your sessions. That is so cool, Hannah. That sounds like an awesome time period and genre and setting to write in. I love that time period and setting, so I'm sure your book is coming along fantastic, and I can't wait to read it one day. Okay, let's set our timers and get this sprint going. Everybody, if you are ready, go ahead and set your timers or follow mine. And let's begin our first sprint. Sprint number 1 finished. Great job, guys. Tell me how it went in the chat. Hopefully that was a productive sprint. We're going to take a 5-minute break and then we're going to get into our next sprint. So type in the chat, tell me how it went. Share your word count if you desire. Let's see what my word count is. 55,854. Okay, that was a productive sprint for me. I wrote almost 700 words, so it's coming along. Okay, great job, guys. Fantastic work. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to get into our next sprint in just a minute. And another super chat came in. Thank you so much, again, from Chaylon. Appreciate that. And now I'm going to answer a few questions from the chat until we get through our break here, and then we're going to go into the next sprint. So let's see. Oh, another super chat came in. Thank you so much from Friendly Neighbor. Said, hi, I currently have a project in the works, and I was wondering if you could share the pros and cons to co-writing and how the whole process works. So everybody's co-writing process is going to be different, of course. But for me, my co-writing process with my sister has been very fun and collaborative because we are basically like the same person. We're very different, but we have like almost this twin-like intuition with each other that makes it very easy to collaborate. So I would say, even if it's not a person who's like that close to you, make sure that you are always like very open and honest and transparent about what you're thinking, about your ideas. And the other piece of advice I would say is like, make sure that you never like take any ideas too close to heart of like, you know, this is my idea, it has to fit in this, because it might not fit. And that's the whole thing about co-writing, is it's like finding compromises all the time. But I would say like, you really have to love the person that you're co-writing with, and to the point where like you have a lot of patience for them. And even if your ideas don't end up fitting with the project, you can still save those ideas for something else, and you don't take it personally if that person doesn't want to use those ideas. You come to a compromise. So if you're good with compromising and this other person is really good with compromising, I have a feeling that you'll probably work out really well together with co-writing. As far as the cons go, I guess if you didn't like the person you were co-writing with, then it might be difficult to continue the project, especially if you were locked into like a series or something. So maybe when you first start co-writing, try doing like a shorter term project just to see how it goes. And then if you really love it, then you're like, okay, let's do a series together. That is probably a safer bet. But hopefully it helps. Thank you for the super chat. Art with Cupcake asks, any advice on how to write battle scenes with only one perspective? That definitely would be a challenge. But I think probably my advice for this would be to make sure that the action is quick and really personal to that one perspective. We don't even need to necessarily know everything that's happening everywhere all at once. Okay, that can be really overwhelming. If we really care about this one character whose perspective we're in, we just want to know what's personally happening to them and what is personally impacting them and mattering to them and the stakes that they are facing. So even if they have a few moments where they pause, look around, see other things happening in the action, it should feel very close and personal and vivid, just in this one little bubble of reality that we're in right now. That's what makes it feel like deep point of view. So I would recommend staying very close to the character with a single point of view. Right Away asks, how to tell when to end a series? That's also a really good question, especially if it's an ongoing series that you're not sure how you want it to end. If that's the case, and it's like you could just keep writing these books forever, then I would recommend just write as many as you want. Like, even if you feel like, oh, I'm just, writing fan fiction for my own characters at this point, cool, do it, because you don't know what that will turn into one day. Maybe somebody will one day really, really, really want to see that work. And so I would recommend just writing to your heart's content up to the point where you feel like, okay, I have nothing left to write about these characters. But the nice thing about a series is that you can decide how many of these books you release, and you can see the response that you get from them. And if you have a lot of readers who are clamoring to see more of these characters, then it's great to have more to give them rather than less. It's always good to have more rather than less. Another super chat came in from That Tricky Dude, asks, since finding you 10 days ago, I have 44,000 words into a 5 point of view novel. Wow. How my male and female characters experience the same events completely differently has me laughing. Wow, that is such an amazing accomplishment. Congratulations. And I'm so glad you found my channel and that it's been helpful and inspiring to you. Okay, guys, let's get into our next sprint, and I'm going to answer more questions on the next break. But for now, reset your timers and let's dive back in while the creative juices are flowing. I'm going to set up another sprint in the Discord for 25 minutes. Feel free to join over there. I'm join with the same word count. And otherwise, just stay here. Okay, let's get into our next sprint. I'm going to set my timer. And good luck, everyone. We will chat again on the next break. Sprint number 2 is finished. Great job, guys. Tell me how it went in the chat. Hopefully that was a good sprint for you guys. Let's see how many words there. 56, 5, and 9, 8. $744, that sprint. Okay, fantastic work, guys. You're doing great. So we have 2 more sprints to go. Stay with me if you can. Otherwise, of course, you can always hop off if you need to, but we have 2 more sprints to go in this session. So if you can stick around for another hour, we're going to finish strong together. Okay, let's see. A couple super chats came in. Thank you so much again from Chaylon for the super chat. Encouraging everyone to keep going. I love it. Let's see, there was another one I missed. Okay, this one is from Joe. Hey, Abby, is it possible to start a book with a last will and testament, maybe as a preface in first person, and then start the story following his son in third? Also, thank you for all your help. Absolutely. That sounds like a really intriguing way to start a story, actually, especially if it's more like the mysterious suspense psychological thriller vibe, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm totally off base there. But either way, that absolutely could work as a prologue. And again, what I would just say is like my, 5-minute rule still applies here, in that in the first 5 minutes, give us an idea of why should we care about these characters. So maybe the last will and testament that opens the book is gives us a little bit of a hint to who these characters are and what they care about, and who the author of this will cares about, and what are some clues and some little bits of intrigue that we can have up front right away to make us see a little bit into who these characters are and why what we're reading right now matters to them. That's really the most important thing to remember with that first page of your book. Hooking us with internal conflict if you can, and if it's not possible within the actual will itself, then quickly into the first chapter when we meet this main character. But that sounds like a really intriguing way to start a book, and I would absolutely say that you can use that as a prologue. Renee Ross gave a super chat as well. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on Amazon's new virtual voice for audiobooks? I actually have not heard of it. I know I'm kind of behind on like the latest audiobook news, but it sounds like probably virtual voice is something to do with AI. I know that there's a lot of controversy around AI, especially with voices and with audiobooks. I personally think that at this point, maybe sometime in the future that AI will be advanced enough to perform an audiobook with a AI generated voice. But right now, I don't think technology is quite at that level. Personally, I personally don't think it can match a real human being's performance. That's just my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of AI, so if that gets rolled out for indies, I definitely won't be going that route. I will be going the human being route with audiobooks, but to each their own. And I definitely recommend looking into various different paths for publishing, especially for indie authors. It's important to understand all of it and everything that you have to work with. Another super chat came in from Charlotte. Thank you so much. I must ask, how is your fantasy novel coming along? It is coming along really well, actually. I have been doing a lot of outlining for it and bringing all these ideas together, developing the characters. I'm still in the outlining stage. So I basically have the framework of like the plot and the different events that I want to have unfold, but some more detailed outlining needs to be done for sure. But it's coming along nicely, and I hope to give updates on it soon. Okay, one more question before we get into our next sprint here. Blue Jay asks, how can I craft a slow burn that's addictive? Very good question. I actually have a video on my channel about writing slow burn romance, so check that out. But slow burn is so much fun, obviously, to write and to read if it's written well. My biggest piece of advice for slow burn and to make it addictive would be to make sure that both your characters have their own unique conflicts and journeys that they're going on as individuals, but that they're being thrown together in these different circumstances that obviously lead to them falling in love eventually. But the transformation that happens, their character arc that they arrive at the end, is something that they couldn't have arrived at by themselves. That to me is what makes a slow burn romance so satisfying, is like when we watch these characters go on this whole journey together and then they end up in this place where they couldn't have really ended up at this realization without each other. So hopefully that helps. But check out that video on my channel. I think it's called how to write a slow burn romance that makes your readers fall in love or something like that. But you'll like that video. I also have multiple live trainings on writing romance because I cannot shut up about writing romance. Okay, let's set up another sprint in the Discord and dive into sprint number 3. So join over there if you desire, or stay here on the live stream. I'm going to join again with the same word count. Okay, fantastic. So y'all are joining over there. And let's get into our third sprint. And at the next break, I will answer some more questions. Okay. Good luck, guys. Sprint number 3 finished. Great job, guys. You're doing amazing. Type in the chat. Tell me how it went. We have one more sprint left to do. If you are up for it, then stick around. Type in the chat. Tell me how that sprint went. And if you had a productive 25 minutes just now. Hopefully you did. Let's see what my word count is. 5749. 831, but some of those honestly are repeated words because not that I'm repeating myself, but in the midst of writing this nonfiction book, it is requiring me to fill out my templates. So I find myself copying and pasting questions over and over again and then filling them out. So some of those words are templates, but it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Okay. Another super chat came in from Shaylon. Thank you so much again for the super chat. Okay, one more squad, is it? Or is it two more? I lost count. The math isn't mathing, but keep up for however many there are. There's one more sprint left. So we have another 25 minutes to go. If you are in, then stick around. First, I'm going to take a quick break and answer a few questions. Let's see. Bex Writing asks, do you have any tips on writing a character, learning how to use their magic? That's definitely a fun thing to write when you have a character who is like embarking on this new power that they're discovering. I think that one of the things that I find makes it really interesting is when you have something at play with the character that is making the use of their power or their magic like difficult for them. And it doesn't even have to be like a physical thing, but even just like a mental, emotional thing. Even better if you can root it to their internal conflict. I find that to be very engaging because you can draw it into, what the character wants, what they're afraid of, and tie it back to their internal conflict. So like not making it too easy, I guess, and leveraging their misbeliefs with their use of their magic. Missy asks, hey, Abby, what do you think about misbeliefs that are more external, like trusting someone they're not supposed to? Can that work well? It really obviously depends on your character, but the thing about misbeliefs is like it can be literally anything that ties back to like a universal, a truth for them. So it's a truth for any scenario, whether it's like I can't trust anybody, or I can only trust this one person, or I can only trust myself. Like the trust issue itself can branch out many different directions and become very complex. It depends on where you want to take it. But remember that the misbelief is personal to the character, yes, but it also is sort of this more broad worldview, right? So if I ask this character, can you put that into words? They could probably put it into the words of like a principle, a truth that they live by, something that they make decisions based on. So if you can tie it back to that, then yes, absolutely. Let's see. Any tips on choosing a good title? Olivia asks. One of my favorite ways to choose a title is to come up with like a list of words that feels like my book, whether it is words that are used in the book or maybe a phrase that's used a lot in the book or something that is like a central theme. It doesn't even have to be used a lot, even if it's only used once, but it kind of encapsulates the feeling that you want people to be left with after reading this book. That can be a good one to add to the list, but making like a master list of words and phrases that you can draw inspiration from is really helpful when coming up with a title. Otherwise, I just, come up with a title before I even write the book usually is the best way. But of course, everybody's title brainstorm process is different. So find what works for you. Let's see, a super chat came in. Thank you so much. How do you handle finding that you have repeated yourself many times? Does the story need a pure villain? I have an anti-villain. You can have any kind of characters you want in your story, honestly, as long as they're all conflicted, they all have good reasons for doing what they're doing, all their reasons for their decisions are tied back to their fatal flaws, then cool. You do not need to have like a textbook villain in your story to make it compelling or to make the antagonistic force feel threatening. It can be even a character who's just like a morally gray anti-hero who is causing trouble. As far as finding that you have repeated yourself a lot, different writing tools can be really helpful for picking out repetitions in your writing and identifying them, but also, of course, just the editing process as you go through and you're editing. Try not to be too hard on yourself in the first drafting process because you will repeat yourself. It's okay. You will tell instead of show, and you'll break certain rules that you don't want to break. And that's okay because those things can be rooted out in the editing process. In the revisions process, you can address all of those changes. And of course, get a second opinion, get beta readers, get a critique partner, have somebody else read it and give you their observation from a more objective standpoint. But hopefully that helps. Okay, our break is up. Time to get into the next sprint. Yes, somebody said AutoCrit is a good software for finding repeated words. I have not tried that yet, but I've seen it recommended, and a few of you guys were talking about it in the Inner Circle Facebook group, and I really want to check it out and see what it's like because it looks like it has some unique features. Okay, thank you guys so much for the super chats. Let's get into our next sprint. I'm going to reset my timer. This is the last sprint of the retreat, guys. Give it your all. Let's finish strong together. Okay, I'm going to join the same word count. Okay, 25 minutes, guys. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Fantastic work, guys. That was it. The final sprint. You should be so proud of yourselves for staying to the end and for sticking with this writing retreat. We're actually not finished with the writing retreat. There's 2 more days left. This is the 28th. So we have the 29th, we have tomorrow, and we have the next day. So we have the weekend to wrap up this wonderful writing retreat. So you're going to get a few more emails from me if you're in the list, and stick around in the Discord because we're going to finish strong over there as well. But type in the chat, tell me how it went, tell me how this whole session went. I would love to know. Let's see, I'll put my final word count in the Discord. I actually think I deleted words this time. 56332. Let's see. Yes, I did delete words because I'm moving some things around, but hey, it was a very productive sprint for me, a very productive session. This book is coming along really well. So thank you guys so much. And thank you for the super chats. I just saw another super chat came in from Chaywan for $100. Wow, thank you so much. That means so much to me. And every super chat that you guys have given today helps me to help support this channel so that I can continue making this content, doing these live streams, and helping you guys make your author dreams come true. It is so fulfilling to me, and it makes me so happy to see that my channel is inspiring to you guys. And thank you so much for the super chats. I hope to see you all around here too in the future. And fantastic work on everything that you have done this month. So even if you haven't met the goal that you set out to accomplish, even if you haven't hit that word count that you wanted to hit, it's okay. Any time that you spend at your creative work is time well spent. Any progress you make is good progress. So remember that. Always, always, always remember that. And when you show up for yourself, you are becoming a better writer. Every session, even if you only wrote a few words. So hopefully this session has helped bring you closer to your author dreams, and hopefully this writing retreat has been a productive one. I would love to hear about it. So comment below this live stream after we sign off and tell me what you've written this month, what you've been working on, why you're passionate about it, why it matters to you. And I'd love to hear about the progress you made this month. But stick around because we are going to be doing more Write With Me live streams in the future. I typically do one live stream every single month. So stick around for that. I also have a sort of a Write With Me / immersive writing session coming out soon that is going to be like a Write With Me. So you're actually going to see me writing in it, but it's super cozy, like rainy day cottage vibes. And I filmed it recently and I'm really excited to share that one with you. That's going to be one that you can use over and over again. So it doesn't have to be live. So hopefully you guys enjoy that too. That's coming out soon. But thank you again so much for being here. Thank you for the super chats and for hanging out with me and writing with me and making this whole creative adventure so much more fun and fulfilling. I will see you around on the Discord and on this YouTube channel. Again, if you want to join the Discord, you can do that by joining my Patreon at any level. The link is below this live stream. Okay, guys, until next time, rock on.